made the announcement, "Japanese surrender." The men with the flag whooped, and I did my best to hold back a tear-laden cry of joy. Since the war had begun, my life had changed in so many ways. I'd left a dusty farm in southern Colorado, moved to Denver, worked in a factory, attended nurses' training, moved to New York, a city I'd always dreamed of living in, graduated as a nurse, and the most unexpected thing of all, marry. The country had changed, too. Blackouts and rationings and news of battles, deaths, and hardships every day. Life as it had been before had almost become a blur. Dusk was beginning to come on, and the lavender gold sky above seemed somehow bigger, wider, and more open. So soft and bright, it felt as if I could reach up and touch it. The city was shimmering under the sunset, and the glow of victory as herds of us hoofed it gleefully towards Times Square, all intent upon wildly reveling. The worst war in history was finally over. How uncomplicated and free our days would be in the future. At the subway station near Times Square, people flowed from the underground as though a great subterranean river had swelled out of its banks. Already we were 500,000 strong. People of all ages were dancing, hugging, and drinking. American flags flew everywhere. As Times Square, with its electric waterfall and depictions of the Camel Man and Budweiser horses, came into view, the 15,000 light bulbs of the Times Tower ticker spelled it out for us in just 5 words. Official. Truman announces Japanese surrender. The celebration was trance-like, urgent, joyful, and exultant. It drew me in, despite the fact that so many lives had been lost or ruined. Perfect strangers embraced, hats tumbled from heads, and beer sloshed. In the packed crowd, just as many people cried as laughed. Soldiers wearing fatigues, and sailors wearing their blue denim shirts and dungarees. Many of them just off ships returning from the war zone in Europe, ran down the streets, hollering and shouting, holding their bottles of beer high above their heads. There were other nurses in all-white uniforms, police officers, women leading children, store workers, chefs, waitresses, and businessmen among thousands of soldiers, everyone applauding and cheering. Men threw their hats in the air, and taxi drivers sat on their horns. Some kids beat a staccato rhythm on garbage can lids, and a group of teenagers formed a conga line, snaking through the masses. Couples jitterbugged to the music inside their heads. Sirens wailed and church bells clanged, joining the beautiful racket. Everyone moved and talked and laughed in crazy bursts, but later I would remember it in slow motion, like a lovely, lingering dance. Someone grabbed me from behind, and all I glimpsed was a flash of a face and a sailor's navy blue uniform and white cap. He twisted me around, bent me backward, and laid a kiss on my lips. His kiss smelled of beer, but was not offensive. Nothing could be offensive during such a moment. Another man had a camera, and I blinked hard against the flash of light. What happened next remains hazy. The celebration, the kiss, the exultation all around me, and the first taste of peace. All rushed together and held me still, as if time had ceased to flow forward. A bright white arrow of happiness struck me then, straight into my center. A point of glory that told me the world and everything in it had changed. And then the sailor and the photographer were gone. The celebration had obviously made some people act stupid. I touched my lips, kissed by a stranger. And then I laughed. I laughed in a way that pumped my chest and brought tears to my eyes. A different sailor attempted another grab by kissing, but I waved him away. More revelers surged past, and then the premonition I'd been having for days returned. It snapped up my spinal cord and tingled across the synapses in my brain, but I saw no images. Catching any details was like trying to catch fireflies, grasping at things that for a moment felt bright and close, and then suddenly vanished.